So what is scan, right? So now suppose that you have a merged cell here, right? So we got to say if I want to get this result, right? So the first thing is that I got to uh, unmerge it, right? So you can see that the first step is unmerge, right? And after that, oh, this empty cell here, I'm going to take the value here and just put it here, right? So if it's empty, we'll take the previous value and put it here, right? So you can see that, so watch this again right here. If it's do manually right here, if it's empty now, right, I'm going to use the previous value. So this is called the previous value, right? So then after I fill it up here and I come to this row, right, then this will be my previous value, and I will just also do that same thing, right? I will just put it here. So this job, right, is done manually. How can we do it in code way, right? So, and that function is called the scan, right? The scan function, right? So, well, it fill with the non-blanks, right? The scan fill with the non-blanks of this cell here, A3, right, with the empty cell, with this empty cell, right? So as if that this scan here, the scan job here is like what you just seen here is like this, right? So it's put here, and then they go, and then do a merge, and then yeah, that's it, right? This is it, right? So and you fill it with the empty cell here. So this job is now done by the scan, right? So after you scan it, right? So what do you do next, right? Is that for every cell that is below, right? I want it to be filled with the previous value. If the cell here is empty, right? How do we achieve that? We use the lambda function, right? So this will be a separate video to talk about lambda, right? So with that right here, so this if function basically tells you that if the current row is empty, then I'm going to use the previous value. The R is the previous value. Otherwise, I would use the Z value, right? So which is the current value. So that is exactly what happened with the scan. So once you understand this scan, right? The one way to understand is to really type it out yourself, right? So the scan, and then the double quote, and then here lambda. Once you understand this, right? We'll go to this one here. Now here is that let's say I'm looking for durian, right? So let's say so let me look for guava, right? This stuff. And where does it stay located? Right? It's in HR. Now this become very useful, right? Without unmerge it to find out that list, right? Okay. So here is the function for XLOOKUP. This one you already understand. Now it's just that in B2, right? In B2, we're looking for B2, right, which is here. And then for in the B6, right? B6 is just stuff new, right? This is already no merge, right? But the scan here is very powerful because that without a merge it and fill down, we can still find that department or the function in that of that stuff, right? All right, and that is the goal of you learning this scan and the XLOOKUP lambda as well, right? And here it's just an example, right? So here, we have some date here. Let's say here we can just delete here. Like I say, so these are status, right? And we can do something like this, right? So just change it to KIV, right? So now you can see that the both are all become KIV. So how do we achieve that? It's the same idea, right? We've just filled it down with just a scan, right? You can see here, we fill this all with empty, and then the next thing is that we set the current one as the previous, and then with the previous, right, we also keep that copy, right? And then we check the current, right? So if the current is empty, then we use the previous value. If not, we use the current value. So I say here, if the current is empty, we use the previous value, right? But if it's in carry, let's say we're in the first row itself, then it's not empty, right? So then we set it as a current. And then we go to the next row. When the lambda will go to the next row according to this list, right? You go to the next row and check it. If this current is empty, oh yes, it's empty. then we use the previous value, right? The previous is already stored, right? Right, already used that, already stored, right, in the Lambda system. Yeah, and that's how we go to the scan, right? So to understand this, type it out, and thank you for watching.